Hi, my name's Elle Long and I'm Media Director at Mediaworks. My department specialises in media planning and buying, mainly offline, although some digital display as well. So we do TV, radio, out of home. We know at the moment there's a huge amount of considerations for businesses, people and the world at large in terms of how to navigate the situation we found ourselves in. There is a question of whether to advertise, where to advertise, and how to advertise. So we've created some actionable tips for you today. And we want to talk to you about whether you're considering making changes to your above the line media spend. Our first point is about reviewing your media spend, your channels, and your creative. Obviously, there are problems with people being in lockdown. They're not consuming out of home media or cinema advertising. They're not going to trade shows. These budgets, should they not yet be booked, can be reallocated into other media. And there is a lot of change within the media consumption market. And we'll talk you through a little bit about where you could move some of your spend if you wanted to. In addition, we need to think about creative. At the moment, there's a lot of sensitivity around so anything that includes scenes of seasonal get-togethers or parties or that sort of thing should probably be replaced for the foreseeable future. You need to be considerate and sensitive at this sort of time. Also to add, if you're a brand stocked in a supermarket, you probably won't be doing any in-store media because it just won't be able to be facilitated at the moment. So you could switch your media spend in that area over to the online grocery stores and still see some good results. Just bear in mind that most retailers at the moment are not allowing promotions to go on. We can do new creative for you. We have the ability to facilitate making new ads, whether that be for radio or digital audio or even TV. At the moment, radio scripts can be turned around within about 48 hours from script through to being on air. Even TV, we can look at TV scripts, we can have them made, obviously, generally animation as opposed to a TV shoot, but we could have you on TV within 5 working days approximately. So the main point for this particular section is just to say you do need to be reviewing. You are wise to look at your media plans for the next 3 to 6 months potentially, and make decisions that will make your advertising more efficient. Our second point leads directly on from the first. If you are going to change or cancel any media that's already booked, you need to check your cancellation policy. Generally, as a rule of thumb, most media owners ask for 28 days notice. If you're outside of that period, then you should be able to cancel any media that you do not want anymore without any penalty. If you are within that period, it's always worth having a discussion. Most media owners are keen to keep the money in the pot at the moment, so they'll be happy to defer, I would guess. It's whether or not they will let you physically cancel and take the money back out of the month. But it's always worth a chat. They are there to help at the end of the day. If you are considering cancelling, then first of all, have a check to make sure there's nothing else you can do in terms of just moving things around, maybe changing creative instead of completely cancelling. You might be able to negotiate that you send new creative in 7 to 10 days' time, whatever it might be, and then you can still use the media, but you can use it in a better way than previously you may have thought. ITV, for example, have relaxed all of their late booking fees, which makes it easier to come into the market late. They're also actually adding in incentives for you to actually go into the market in April. So they are offering deals. They're obviously keen to take your booking. They're keen to talk about pricing. It's a very fluid market. We all know everything's changing day by day. People like ITV, Global, all of the big media owners are very keen to see less disruption. ITV Hub is having a very big surge in interest. Obviously, streaming from home on connected devices, connected TVs, is on the up. It's increasing massively. So the main point here is just to have that chat, to discuss the options. If you're outside of 28 days, it's your right to cancel. If you're not, it's your right to have a chat with the media owners, explain your situation, and hopefully they will be sympathetic. Moving on to our third point, we are advising clients that they should focus very much, and for obvious reasons, on in-home media. So television, radio, anything consumed within the house. Things have changed, obviously, and habits are changing day by day. We're seeing a very big upsurge in viewing on, say, ITV Hub is up 77% year on year. Global Radio are reporting an increase in radio streaming services of 23.8%. People are using digital audio like Spotify. Habits are changing in terms of Spotify, actually. They're reporting playlist changes, so people are accessing things like cookery playlists or housework or children's music, and they're moving much further away from party time or travel playlists. So that's an interesting way to maybe direct your media strategy. We're also looking at increases in online display and video content, working alongside things like digital audio, so DAX or in-stream. These media types are very obviously increasing because people are in the house and they need to access entertainment news. So our advice to clients is definitely to, when you are reviewing media choices, is to consider that these habits are changing because of the situation we found ourselves in. Our fourth point is about making sure you're in an environment that is trusted should you choose to move or change your advertising plans. Consumers are keenly seeking out information at the moment and up-to-date news with trusted media partners. Radio stations like LBC, TV stations like Sky News, they're being accessed very heavily at the moment, and they're being trusted to inform the public of what's going on. Consider sources that package online inventory that include high-profile digital display sites on trusted sites. What we need to be careful of is that you're not in an environment that is untrusted. There is a report by Radio Centre which says that 77% of people see radio as being the most trusted news source, and only 15% trust news from social media. It's worth considering. And radio seems to be living up to this reputation, given the figures that are coming in. LBC in particular is an environment which for certain advertisers will be very key at the moment, because many people are trusting LBC to give them the proper news, the news that's real at any one time. Particularly news on the crisis. So if you're going to move media into areas new to you or new to your advertising message, it's worth making sure that those are trusted sources that you're going into. Our final point today leads on from being in trusted areas, and it's about using different formats of advertising. So something like an editorial or an advertorial. This could really help put you in a position where you look to be helping other people. You're giving them advice on how the crisis has changed business or changed considerations for them. Things like trade magazines will carry advertorials, also newspapers, magazines. As I mentioned, people are out looking for news. They're looking for engaging on a local level with what's happening in their area. If you can go in as an authoritative voice and offer advice, that would be a nice positioning for you. And obviously it does look less like advertising. It looks a lot more like editorial. So, audiences are looking for advice and information at the moment. And things like advertorials, editorials, they're guaranteed to deliver that to them. So thanks for your time today. I hope there's been some useful tips within this. It's a changing situation every day. And at Mediaworks, we're trying to advise our clients as best we possibly can as to how things might work out. Obviously, we're here to help. If there's any questions or advice needed, reach out to us. We will attempt to help you. Good luck, and thanks for your time.